dots are long gone. Finally know who I am now. Insecurities are long gone, long gone, long gone. All my fears and doubts are long gone. Finally know who I am now. Insecurities are long gone, long gone.
What's up, reefers, and welcome back to another episode of Zoa Tank Boyz. And in this episode, we're going to do a reef tank update on my Red Sea 130. Let's go. Alright guys, so on this episode, we're going to be doing things a little bit different. Manny's actually on a work trip, so I'm going to be doing this video on my own. And it's been a very, very long time since I did an update on this tank. So I'm going to show you guys a lot of the growth that's happened over time, both the good and the bad, which we'll get a little more into that later on. Without further ado, let's get started with this reef update. Everything's doing pretty good in this tank. This is a 34-gallon Red Sea 130. One thing you do notice is I have, sorry for the glare. One thing you do notice is I have tons of these pulsing zinnias. Started with just one little small frag, and as you can see, gotta be careful because they do grow out. I'm gonna have to take some of these guys out here because if you look down here in the bottom, they're actually starting to spread through the tank. So it's pretty dangerous to let them just spread out like that. But if you guys check out our Instagram, I actually have a post of when I first got this A-can here. And it started off with one head and a few small babies. And it's actually grown out to be its own small colony there. Beautiful colors, awesome to look at. I like to feed them individually every once in a while. And I got Orion, the starry blenny here, chilling. Just wanted to say hi. But yeah, I mean, a lot has changed. There's been a lot of growth here. Got the big mama lobo here. Got this huge infinity shroom. One of the most vibrant infinity gauntlet shrooms that I've seen. This guy I've had, he was the size of a quarter when I first got him. Now he's the size of my hand. I've had him for about a year. Huge. I have this here. This was a Yuma colony. I started fragging a little bit here and there. Had like 12 or 13 different Yumas on there. I think it has about like 7 or 8 on there. Oh, look, there's one right there. I'm gonna have to try to put a rock underneath. Now this here is the Echinata colony. I'm actually gonna bring this over to Manny's house. So I just relocate it here for a little bit, just until I get a larger tank. It's a huge piece and it takes up a lot of the sand bed. But if you look here on the side, it actually started dying off because it was too close to this mushroom here and just kept getting stung. Check out that octospawn there. I started off with one head and now I have 3 heads. That thing gets a lot larger than what it is now. Oh, these guys are fighting. Yeah, they're always arguing about something. And then check out the Zoa garden in this tank. So I started with the scrambled eggs and I wanted to try to put them onto the back wall. And I mean, you can see my efforts there. But one thing I can tell you guys is that definitely do your research on the Zoas you decide to put into your Zoa garden. Some Zoas do grow faster than others, and as you can see, they will overwhelm your Zoas. Unfortunately, I put the Halle Berries and the Captain Jerks, which I've actually removed these Captain Jerks a while back. I gave Manny the rock, and he put them on a separate portion of his tank. And it only had like 2 or 3 heads left on there, and you can't really tell, but there's actually a few Zoas in there because I put a frag over it, and as you can see, it just grew over all the Zoas, the frag, and just took over. So definitely do your research to make sure that you don't have a situation like this, because I started off with blues, greens, reds, oranges, purples. I started off with a bunch of different colors so that when they grew out, they would mesh together and have a nice color cohesion. But as you can see, some outgrew faster than others, and they kind of took over. So now it's more of like a yellow, pink, green Zoa garden. It's still beautiful. It's still pretty cool. I like to call this the Zoa Falls because it kind of looks like a waterfall coming off of a cliff, especially if you pan down like this. But yeah, I would say just do your research. Make sure you're putting zoas that'll grow within the same rate, or if you're wanting to have some more of one specific color, make sure that that's the one that's going to grow a little faster than the rest. But just be careful because you'll end up like this where you have more of one color than all the rest. So I do have some rock flowers. This guy, I call him the king because normally he's there, but lately he's been moving to the back of the rocks and back to the front. This little guy, he was way smaller when I first got him, but he's starting to grow there. Then I have this ultra reddish orange rock flower there. He just recently moved behind the hammers. He hasn't gotten too close, so there's not really any room for worry right about now. He does move towards the back side of the rock, so he never really gets too close to the hammers. There's an episode a while back that we went to our LFS called Krabby Patty, and he was selling these frags, and they were decent sized frags of this Season's Greeting Monty for $5. So I couldn't pass that up. I ended up getting one, and now he's kind of overtaken this crevice here. Probably not the best place to put him at because he will be hard to kind of take out because he's kind of taken over that small little crevice spot. But he's grown tons. Here, let's check out the top view real quick. So if you notice that square that's raised, that's when I first got him, and look at how much growth he's gotten. Now look how huge this mushroom is. This mushroom actually gets a lot larger. It's the size of my hand, but he is a little shriveled up compared to what he normally is. He's a monster. And I do have some frags here. I did frag up some of the scrambled eggs, put them on a frag to see how they would do. And I started off with 3. As you can see, there's quite a few there. This one here is closed up, but that's actually one of the frags I got from Aquascape. That's a butt kisser frag that I'm just letting chill there till it grows a few heads before I put them on the rock. Got some Pikachus here. Started off with like 3 or 4 heads. It's starting to grow out. Just waiting for it to grow out a few more heads before I put them on the rock. And that's just a Halle Berry frag that just happened to be floating around in the tank and decided to just glue it onto a frag. Now, if you guys see Manny's tank, Manny has this huge leather, almost looks like a weeping willow, just stunning. So I had one, it was a smaller frag, and as you can see, it's starting to grow. Kind of put him as a centerpiece here, similar to what Manny had. So that way when he starts to grow out and his polyps start to extend, you know, it's gonna look really, really nice. Sorry about the glare, guys. Alright, look at that top-down shot, guys. Got Zoa Falls. Now this colony here, I ended up getting with, I think it was about 4 heads. It's probably got like 12 heads now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Lets us know that you guys really enjoy the content. But you know we can't end this episode without shouting one of you guys out. So this week's comment is going to be right here. So keep those comments coming so we can shout one of you guys next. Until next time, Zoa Tank Boys out!